Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Diaries of an Outcast podcast. I'm your host, D Day J. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm so glad to be back. I think I missed last week. Wait, no, I just uploaded. Yeah, I'm all over the place. If you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering why you're not ugly and why you should just be consuming different social media. We're going to get into that, but first, let me give you guys a bit of a description of my podcast. Since it's pretty new, I like to just give an overview of kind of what my podcast is about and where I'm coming from when I'm in front of this camera talking to you guys. So, a bit of a disclaimer, if you guys see me looking down or off to the side, I have my iPad next to me with an outline of notes so that I do not go off on a rant, which I might do a little bit here on my podcast because it's a podcast and that's why I created this podcast because I like to talk. But more so on like my regular YouTube videos, I really try to stick to my outline so I'm not like going off on a rant or like you probably clicked on a video wondering like clicked on a video for a specific reason and now I'm talking about something else and you're like, what the heck, what's going on? So that's why last YouTube video I started putting my microphone on this pic because it is the most convenient thing I can find, and I'm putting it on here because it's such a tiny microphone and I want a bigger microphone. We ain't got the funds for that yet, so this is our makeshift big microphone, okay? So like the description or the the objective or the value that I'm trying to bring here on my podcast is like everything I'll be talking about is like relating it around kind of being an outcast. So for example, this episode is like why you should be consuming different social media. Well, I feel like a lot of people, like my peers, my age, aren't really thinking about these things. They're kind of just consuming social media without kind of like realizing the effects, and like they're just not thinking about certain things that I'm thinking about. At least not that I know of. And even if they are thinking about it, they're not like speaking on it. They're not like necessarily interested in speaking on it, and I am, and I feel like a lot of people aren't. So that's just like kind of an example of like an outcast and whatnot. And so when I say an outcast, I'm not saying like I'm rejected from society um or like I have no friends, but like just all my life I've kind of felt like an outcast because I would think about and like I'm interested in certain things that my peers necessarily that my peers aren't necessarily interested in, and that's okay. But that's why I created this podcast, because I can't talk to well, I can talk to my friends about anything, but they don't want to hear about this stuff all day, every day. And so that's why I'm here to talk to you guys who actually want to hear it. But I also feel like feeling like an outcast kind of ties in with like being multiracial. I feel like growing up, I could never fit into like one certain ethnic group. I obviously do realize that like you can be friends with anyone. I clearly know that, but like I just feel like growing up, people are very cliquey and like let's just be real. And so like growing up, I didn't really know where I fit in at, and I didn't know how like who I was and how I grew up aligned with my race, because people like to tie race to like certain upbringings and things like that. And so that left me feeling very confused and kind of just like feeling like an outcast. Also, just like coming from generations of poverty, I think it has uniquely shaped me and provided me with like special insights that I would love to share with you guys. And I just want to like bring to light certain things like certain insights of like being a first generation college student, or figuring out like my own life and navigating that, as well as like today we're talking about social media and society and my perspectives on all of that. And that's really what I've been talking a lot about, because I'm really just into that right now, like how social media is affecting us, because it's I have a huge love hate relationship with social media. And so I'm just very interested in social media, society, trends, standards, all of that stuff. So that is the like description of my the description of my podcast, I mean. So without further ado, let's get into what we'll be talking about today, right? So you're not ugly. You're just consuming the wrong social media. I'm not here to tell you to stop consuming social media. I'm not here to necessarily even tell you to cut down your consumption, even though I do recommend, but that's not even what I'm here to say. I'm more so here to just say that like what you are consuming on social media is having effect on you. It's not necessarily, it is how much, but like what you are consuming, I think has a bigger impact on you, and you have the ability and the power to consume things that are healthy for you and that will improve your life instead of like being a detriment on you. So let's get into it. So my problem with social media, I really feel like social media, like whether you say it out loud or not, you can think it in your head. I feel like it makes everyone feel like they're behind in life and like they're not doing enough. And I think, well, I know the reason for this is that everyone online selectively shares. We pick and choose what we want to share online. We mainly, a lot of us are only sharing the highlights, the highlight reels of our life, the accomplishments, the good moments and things like that. So with that, we're seeing everyone doing all these great things and they're going on trips and they're buying all these things and they have all these friends, and you're like, dang, like I'm not going all these trips, like dang. But whole time, like it seems like this person like then went on like 5 trips in a row. Whole time they're just like they're posting from trips like 2 years ago, you know. So it's like people can really curate this life and this lifestyle online that is portrayed to people through a screen, but isn't really their real life. Or even you yourself watching the videos, you can like kind of be biased or maybe like um, create a narrative in your head of like how this person lives and how they are and what they have, and you can just start to like compare yourself and think negatively to them when the whole time like maybe they're in the same spot as you, they're in the same place as you. So selective sharing has really made it like very, very hard for people to realize that like a lot of the struggles you're going through, other people are going through as well. And I think kind of like tied in with like it makes you feel behind and like you aren't doing enough. I feel like it also makes you feel really alone because certain things aren't being talked about, and that's okay. Like I don't think everything needs to be talked about. I think, and like I'm not saying, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is like it makes you feel alone because of the selective sharing, because it seems like everyone is just having a great time and everything is going well. And you have bad things going on and you have struggles and disappointments in your life, and you're like, dang, like nobody else has that. What's wrong with me? Right? So that is my main problem with social media. Another problem I have with social media is that everyone looks the same and everyone wants the same lifestyle. And now I want to be very clear, there are many people online who look very unique and who live very unique lives. But I think for the majority, like what is pushed in our face and what is mainstream is very centered around a European beauty standard and a European lifestyle, if that makes sense. So I'll maybe like post some pictures here on the screen, but I feel like even if we just look at people's faces, and I guess we're getting into like the beauty standards here, we look at people's faces, like we are all like a lot of people are getting like the same cosmetic surgeries. You know, they're getting like the facelift or like the brow lift. They're getting the lip injections. They're getting the nose job. And then on top of that, doing the same makeup and wearing like the same like same-ish hairstyles in a way. I don't know. It's just it gets a little creepy to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I can't even lie. Like, the look is cute. Like it is. Like it's freaking cute. And when I do my makeup in a way, like I try to like do my makeup like that. And so I can't even like sit here and be like it's ugly or anything. I'm not trying to say that. And like if you want to, if you aspire to look like that, I don't think that's bad. All I'm saying is just like all I'm saying is what I'm observing pretty much. Is I'm observing that a lot of people are just looking very similar. And I don't know if it's the surgeries, if it's the makeup. It's probably both tied in with like just social media. Just social media pushing this certain look, celebrities pushing a certain look. It's all tied together. And like with that as well, people's bodies are looking the same. So we just exited the BBL era and now we're in the skinny BBL era. Um people are looking the same. Like, and again, there's those people online that have unique bodies, that have, I would even go as far as to say, normal bodies, with the exception that I know that some women do have naturally a slim waist and a bigger bum. And so I don't want to discard that. That is very true. But I think for the majority of women do not have that type of body naturally. And so it's just, online can be so distorting, because a lot of times, like when I don't go out in public for a little bit, for a couple days, and I'm like online, I really do start to compare myself, and I start to forget that like there's normal looking people out here. If I would just walk outside my apartment building, there's normal looking people, bro. And normal looking is like, I'm not, that's not derogatory. That's not bad. I'm normal looking. Like, normal looking is okay. It's normal. And so when you're online and you see people with these bodies, with these perfect bodies, perfect, it's a social construction that we have been taught to think is perfect. It makes you feel like, dang, like, why I'm not in the gym, or like, why I ain't got enough money to pay for the BBL or the liposuction. What's wrong with me? It always comes back to like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? And this like really hits home, because like I've heard people online straight up like bullying other women for not getting their bodies done. Or, and like, and I'm saying bullying because if a woman, like, why are you commenting on her body? Why are you saying she should get a BBL because she has the money? I literally heard a video like this, and if I find it, I'm gonna put it in this video. Like, that is insane to me, and it hits so close to home, because in elementary school, middle school, and some of high school, and I mean, like, yeah, people will straight up bully me for my body, specifically my stomach and my butt, because I had a bigger stomach and I didn't have a butt, and I still don't. And people straight up bullied me for it. Like, that would be the first thing somebody would say if, like, I don't know, like, if I don't even want to call it beef, because there was never no beef back then. Like, it was so fake. But like, whenever I would get in a argument or whatever with somebody, or if somebody didn't like me, that would be first thing the first thing somebody would say, boy or girl. They would comment on my body. And so it hits so close to home. Like, and that's why I push like natural beauty so much, because we are really like, they're trying to train us. They're really trying to train us to think that looking normal is ugly. And they're all benefiting, they're all profiting off of all of this. Who is them? The patriarchy. Yes, they're all profiting off of us women and men hating our bodies and wanting to change it. And so we go get these surgeries. We spend a lot of money. They get the money. They win. We get the surgery. We still, and I bet 9 times out of 10 people still feel like crap if they haven't done the work before getting that surgery, if they haven't done that mental work of loving themselves before the surgery, which I think is very important if you are going to get a surgery. And like, oh, it just hits so close to home. And girls can be so just mean. Like, it can have something that has nothing to do with your appearance, nothing to do with your body, and a woman will comment on it, like, oh, she's, you're fat, you're, whoa, okay, like, okay, you know? So that stuff hits really close to home. Another thing is like hairstyles and stuff. I've heard girls online, specifically African American women, like commenting on other girls' hairstyles and saying like, basically saying like she could do better, or like her hair is not good enough, or like specifically I remember one time this girl, like she did braids. She got braids done for her birthday. And she took pictures, whatnot. And women were literally saying like braids are not a birthday hairstyle. Like you need to get a bust down wig, lace front, whatever. What? Like, can we be real? Come on now. I'm gonna insert a video.
To an event where you're all dressed up for and you have heels on with no makeup is unacceptable. I don't care how pretty you think you are.
I'm so tired of Instagram personalities speaking on black women's beauty because it's so distorted in my mind. I love to look at a cute V face. I do. But once we start telling young black women that they look better like that, don't come outside, don't go to the club, don't come outside if you're not gonna have a B face with your like, we don't need all that. That's cute for the one little one-to-one, but in real life, the natural gonna always eat every single time. And it's just like, I'm so tired of these BBL bandits. I'm so tired of these braids is not a birthday hairstyle. Girls, females, I'm so over that whole rhetoric. Braids are a birthday hairstyle. Natural hair is beautiful. Being natural is gorgeous. The black women of the 90s are my favorite because we enhanced our beauty then. Now we're trying to overpower our beauty in every stance. Being a natural, beautiful woman, especially a black woman, because we just got it like that. We need to start standing in that a whole lot more. So stop listening to these Instagram bandits, okay?
On top of that, I feel like we have this notion that like when we step outside or if we go to any event, we have to have our makeup beat down to the gods, our hair slayed and laid. Otherwise, like, we can't go. And I feel like this is especially for black women. I feel like we have to, and I don't even want to speak on this because I'm not fully black, but like I feel like I can. Black women especially feel like they have to go above and beyond with their appearance to be accepted in society, specifically because the patriarchy and how it pushes European beauty standards, and black women don't necessarily fit into those standards. So they feel like they have to do the utmost with their appearance to even like be considered, be deemed as beautiful in this American society. And what really like worries me about this is like young girls like feeding into all of this. And I really do notice it online and even in my real life. Like I can speak on this. Last summer we went, me and my boyfriend went to Chicago and we stayed at his dad's house, and he has step siblings there. I really hope you don't hear the lawnmower out there. They're mowing the grass. If y'all hear that, I'm so sorry. Yes, he has step siblings, and he was showing his stepsister. I think she's maybe 9. He was showing his stepsister this video of me at the gun range shooting, and so it was like a back angle. You could see the back of me, and she literally made the comment. She was like, "Girl, you got no butt," and I'm like, I was actually like stunned for a second. I was like it didn't hurt my feelings. I was just like very surprised she was even like thinking about that. Like as a 9-year old, I will say like when I was 9, I was kind of thinking about my appearance because I was getting bullied for being bigger or chubby, fat, whatever. But it wasn't like, oh, I want a big butt. Like I want to. It wasn't like in that way, and so that really like shocked me. And so like it was like a moment where like I kind of just paused for a second and I looked at her. I'm like, girl, you do not have to have a big butt to be beautiful or to be, yeah, to be, I think I said, you do not have to have a big butt to be beautiful and to feel good about yourself. And she kind of just looked at me, and I can't remember if she said anything back, but it just really made me realize that, like, wow, like young girls are consuming social media and really they're being trained to think that this certain look is beautiful and that's what's beautiful and that's what they should strive to be. And I feel like appearance is a really like just heavy thing, a really thought about thing in a young girl's life today. Even though like it's always been a thing for women to think about their appearance. It has been. But I feel like it's even more prominent. And I feel like it's just beyond unhealthy. It's beyond unhealthy. So now we're going to move on to consumerism and how consumerism is being pushed online to unhealthy limits. So I feel like this is also tied in with like feeling behind in life and feeling like you aren't doing enough. You get online, you get on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and you see somebody with, you know, a new outfit. They're promoting a new outfit, or they're promoting a new gadget, a new tech tool, or whatever. Or a good example is the Stanley Cup. You know, you go online and there's always something new that someone's promoting that's trending or whatever, and you feel like you have to get it. You feel like you have to get it because you feel like you see everyone online getting it, and then next you see all your friends getting it, and you're like, dang, like I might as well get one too. And then you realize you don't even use it. And that low key happened to me, even though I didn't buy it. My boyfriend bought it. And I wasn't even thinking about it. At first I was thinking about buying it, but I'm like, it's just a water bottle. The Stanley Cup. It was trending and I saw it. I was like, oh, it's cute. I thought about getting it. I'm like, no, I don't need it. Months went by and my boyfriend bought me one. And I used it for like a month and now it's just sitting on my desk. Like I don't use it. So yeah, consumerism. Isn't it just great?
But it's reached new levels. Let me give you an example. Like if I think of when I was pregnant, this was 6 years ago, I would not have considered when I was pregnant to fully change all my Christmas decorations for a new aesthetic. Like I would not have said like, oh, this year I'm going with the Grinch theme. And next year I'm going to do like Scandinavian, like all whites and woods. This is something it would not have been even in my scope because you just keep all your Christmas decorations and you like add on, maybe you add on some ornaments or a cute little sign, but you don't fully change everything. Whereas now I feel like people do that regularly. The Stanley Cup thing, like I'm not a Stanley Cup person, but like 6 years ago when I was still working in the office, everybody had water bottles. Everybody had a water bottle in the office. Everybody had a coffee mug and everybody had the same one for like years. Containers in a kitchen. This is something 6 years ago, I honestly never thought about a container in the kitchen, but now we take aesthetically pleasing containers, like maybe nice glass or ceramic or plastic or whatever containers, and we take all of our food out of containers that they already come in and we put them into aesthetic ones. The companies are winning, obviously. We are losing because we're spending money on stuff that is not important. And this has definitely been like a slow burn for like decades.
I really feel like it's really bad. I feel like a lot of things that are, and the things that are being pushed online are things that we don't even need. They're just like random things, just random things that are probably going to be just piled up somewhere in your house that you're not going to use.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't romanticize your life so much that you end up 45 with no savings and no investments for your kids. Like buying all the cute things is like fun and everything, but like be realistic with your finances, plan ahead, and don't get crazy. Because a lot of these like influencers will really have you feeling caught up. Start thinking about how much money you want when you're 45, 50. Otherwise, it's just the rat race. Love you, bye!
What I do for myself is like if I see something online that I think that I want, I'll like save it online, like on my bookmarks, and I'll just have it sitting there. And if I think about it like a couple weeks from then, a month from then, a couple months from then I'll get it. But like if I have it sitting there for like, I think it's like if I have it sitting there, I literally have like a reminder in my calendar to like remove certain bookmarks like every 3 months or so. If I still have it sitting there, I'll just delete it and I'm like, oh, I didn't really want it. It was probably just like a trendy item. But if I like consistently and like thinking about it over the next couple of weeks, I keep thinking about it, then I'll go ahead and get it. But I realize like online, like it makes it so easy for you to purchase something. If you're on TikTok, like you're constantly being promoted things through TikTok Shop. There's creators constantly promoting things for TikTok Shop. You can literally just click a little link and you're in TikTok Shop shopping all of a sudden. And so yeah, that's another thing why I stay offline. Consumerism and beauty standards are so toxic. They're a toxic pair. They're so toxic. And they go hand in hand. They really, really do. Because if you think about it, getting cosmetic surgeries is consumerism. Like, even though it's not necessarily like a physical object, it's a service. And so consumerism, baby. And a lot of cosmetic surgeries are being promoted online, especially like there's older women for sure online like promoting cosmetic surgeries or just like, you know, showing their process or whatever. But there's also a lot of young girls like in their 20s and things like that. And I don't know a whole lot about it and like how it affects you and all of that, but I just think that like early 20s is just way too like early to even like know if you should get surgery or not, because you're still changing. I feel like even looking at my sister, from when she was my age to now, I'm 20, about to be 20, and she's 26. She looks way different. And so why would I, like, even if I'm considering it now, I would never go and get some cosmetic surgery now, knowing that my face is literally going to change. It literally changed over the last 2 years. I will leave pictures here. My face literally changed. And so even if you are like thinking about getting cosmetic surgery, really just understand that your face and your body is still changing. Even if you think it's not, even if it hasn't changed in the last couple of years, it's going to change, I promise. And so even if it doesn't change drastically, like something's going to change. And so just wait it out a little bit, grow into your features, and yeah, just wait, marinate on it, and then decide. I also just think like for me, like I love fashion content. I love like watching people's reels of their outfits, outfit of the days, putting together outfits, styling outfits, all of that sort of stuff. I love watching it, but also at the same time, it really like it makes me want to like update my entire wardrobe, throw everything out, go shopping for an entire wardrobe every time I watch a fashion video. And so I really have to like set boundaries there. Yeah, it's very hard like as a fashion person, because you know you want new pieces. You want new pieces, you want to look fly, you want to look good. But especially like as a college student, like I cannot be spending hella money on clothes all the time. And that's another thing is like I used to spend a lot of money on Shein up until like maybe last year, when I realized like it just wasn't worth it. Their pieces are so low quality and they fit so illy. They fit very ill. They fit badly. I was like, it's just not worth it anymore to spend money on Shein. But it's also hard at the same time, because although there are other retailers that have better quality and that are more ethical, maybe, who really knows, than Shein, I feel like it's either bad quality, like affordable bad quality, or you pay that price and you get good quality. And like as a college student myself, coming from a low income background, it's hard to pay for high quality things. It really, really is. And when you're online consuming things where people have what looks to be like high quality, or just things look good online, things look aesthetically pleasing, you're like, dang, like, why can I afford that? Why can I get that? Like, I need that. And you start to compare yourself, you start to feel bad about yourself, and just a cycle, an ongoing cycle. And that's why I say, really just curate your social media to what you feel is healthy to you, and only you can decide what's healthy for you. Like, so for me, I only follow people like on Instagram. I follow quite a few like fashion people, but I also follow a lot of like people who like teach about content creation, people who talk about personal development and podcasts and other things like that. And the thing is like on Instagram, I really don't scroll at all through my For You or through my homepage at all. I really don't. I really only go on there to either A, get fashion inspiration, so I'll just like go to my reels because it's all mainly fashion stuff, or to post. That's really all I go on Instagram for, like to reply to DMs. On YouTube, I follow a few fashion people, but mainly the people I follow are like personal development people or lifestyle people. And yeah, that's mainly where I'm at. I'm always on YouTube, and I really don't watch any reels on YouTube because I find it's very, very hard to like, for the algorithm to figure out what you like. It's just too random for me. So yeah, I really mainly stick to YouTube because I feel like it's the most controllable as far as like what is shown on your For You page really correlates to what you are watching and what you like. So the more like healthy, non-toxic content you are watching, the more of that's going to be promoted to you on your For You page, and obviously just like who you follow. Now TikTok, I don't consume at all because of the algorithm and what it pushes. And I don't know, I just don't mess with TikTok like that. I honestly like long form. That's why I say I'm on YouTube all the time. But anyways, with all this to say, like you really do have the ability to curate your social media to consume healthy content and to stop feeling bad about yourself every time you get off your phone. And even though you don't say this out loud, maybe you haven't even thought about this or admitted it, it's more than likely that social media is being a detriment on you. I'm sorry. Like I've done some research. Studies show that it's more than likely that social media has had a negative impact on your mental health, on your relationships, on your well-being, all of that. So yeah, that is all that I have for you guys in this podcast today. Once this podcast episode is uploaded a week from that day, I will have a regular YouTube video uploaded on my channel. I have been trying to be a bit more consistent on Instagram, posting like some like outfit pictures, of course. I'll always do that, but also I've been posting little clips of my podcast and my YouTube videos. And so if you want to just go check that out, my name is BDayDayJ on all platforms. I don't post on TikTok anymore. I'm only on YouTube and Instagram. And again, I talk about fashion, lifestyle, personal development, social media, trends, all of that good stuff. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this podcast episode. I'll see you guys in my next YouTube video. Bye.